The seascape is filled with serenity and beauty in each direction, nature in one of its finest forms. It is in this world that Lauro Seraspe has lived a life of grueling physical hard work, day after day.
My back hurts right now, but you know, not too many people at 78 years old are going to be doing this.
Amazing. I'll get choked up. He's a lucky guy.
Over the years, the lobsters have gotten smaller, the fish not as plentiful as they once were, the cost of business and regulation consistently on the rise. It may be a trade of diminishing returns, but Lauro has seen the changes and survived them all.
I have a lot of fish stories, lots.
Spend time with him, and it does feel as if you were with a man from a different era.
Just get up in the morning and go.
At my age, it's hard to bend over to put your boots on.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning, and most of the world is still sleeping.
That's it for now. Here I go.
Lauro leaves his home in Pacific Beach, California, headed to the marina at Mission Bay, like he has countless times before. Quivira Basin is a home away from home. Naturally, Lauro is first to arrive, along with his first mate, John Cook. And on this day, October 12, 2013, some special guests. Lauro's daughter Elizabeth, son-in-law Steve, and Pearl.
Look who it is, Pearl. Hey, Pearl.
With the bait and boat prepped and ready to go, another journey is set to begin.
So it's time to go?
Yeah, it looks like it's getting light, huh? How about it, John?
Sure.
Still runs.
See you later, Richard.
I know the old crab man of the sea.
There you go.
Have a good one.
There's a little breeze coming from the south.
October is an exciting time in the life of a lobster fisherman like Lauro. The start of the season brings with it the possibility of a bountiful harvest, traps filled with fat and meaty legals ready for market. But then again, it's fishing.
So far, it's slow, very slow. We've had bad weather, big swells, just about everything.
A legal lobster is 3 1/4 inch between the back and eyes. So far this season, and on this day in particular, the legals are not coming Lauro's way.
Just a lot of shorts. Okay, John, let her go gently. On a moon, they don't crawl. They don't get out and move around. They stay put.
But getting discouraged is just not in his DNA.
Oh, not at all. No, it's fun. It's fun. You never know what you're going to get, Jeff. You never know. I know one thing. You got to take the good with the bad, and this is bad. Here we go again. One more try, one after the other. You have your good days and your bad days, and what's fortunate now is, you know, if I don't want to get up in the morning and go fishing, I don't have to. At my age, should I be doing this? Who knows? I don't know.
He's 78 years old, still pulling the traps, hacking the kelp, and still getting excited with every good catch.
There's $40 for the morning. There's $60 for the morning. Success! Dinner. Dinner for 4.
Lauro's romance with the sea began decades ago. He was born and raised in San Diego. His father, a World War II veteran in the Navy, was stationed in National City south of downtown. In 1944, the family, including Lauro and his 2 brothers, moved to Pacific Beach.
On a trolley car.
Yeah?
There was no buses and no cabs in. Right. On a trolley car. You knew everybody. Everybody knew you and you knew everybody. Of course, I was only 8 years old, you know, but it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. We went down to the beach and stayed all day all by ourselves, you know. We went beach combing. You did everything you wanted to do with no problems. Surfed, went diving, you know, abalone diving, lobster diving, spear fishing. That's what we did, you know, for fun. That's what the kids did.
After graduation from La Jolla High, a football scholarship awaited at the University of Arizona in Tucson.
But when I went to Arizona, it was 113 degrees, and I said, this isn't for me.
It was back to San Diego, City College for 2 years, followed by a stint in the Army in the late 50s stationed in Korea, then back to State College, what is now San Diego State University. But all along, there was fishing on the side. A few $100s here and there until it soon became clear this was much more than a hobby. It was a career.
It was just fun doing it. And it was a nice way, and there was no problems. You were your own boss. No one told you what to do, when to come home, when to work, when not to work, you know. That was your decisions. I've done a good job, and I know how to catch. If there's something to be caught, I know how to catch it, you know. And now I'm trying to teach my son, of course. He's way over me, way over me now.
He has influenced many fishermen over the years, but none more significantly than his own son, Andy, who on this hot summer day in 2014 is hauling in a catch of spot prawns and rock crab.
It's steady. It's good enough.
The water's warm, huh?
Too warm. It's no good. It's too warm. It's good for swimming, but that's about it.
Andy's son, Charlie, is also part of the crew, the next generation in this fishing family.
Charlie, they want to see the shrimp. Bet my grandson and watch out. He likes girls.
He does?
And they clearly like what they see.
Oh, that was so good.
For Andy, it all began at around age 10.
I just loved fishing. I loved being on the water. He had 100% influence because I grew up fishing with him, and that's just what I did. It just fell into place. You know, I just started fishing when I was young. He helped me get my first boat, my first truck, and started me off. And here I am today, still doing it. I'm just happy that I'm not sitting in an office at a desk working for someone else. I get to do what I want to do. I'm working for myself, and I get to be out in the ocean. I get to be out in the fresh air every day.
Andy has taken the profession to the next level, his success well known in San Diego and beyond.
Bilge pump wasn't working.
But like in the case of his father, none of it came easy.
If you don't go work, you know, it's not like someone's going to send you a paycheck. You got to go make your paycheck.
Everybody got limits. Oh, yeah? And Benita like this.
Oh, he's a great person, but a lot of people don't like him.
Why is that?
Because they're just new fishermen and they're just jealous. Right. You know, they don't like what we have and what we've done.
We now includes Andy's son, next in the line of Lauro's fishing lineage, Charlie, headed into his senior year of high school in the fall.
I've been on the boat since I was born, basically. And I started off fishing with my dad. When he'd go out, I'd just sit on the boat and watch him, you know, take the shrimp in and lobster and all that. But then when I was about 12 or 13, I started fishing bass. We got this boat, so I go in the bay, fish spotted bay bass. I fish some tournaments. And then I got more into fishing yellowtail, sea bass, halibut, and that's what I do now. It's kind of hereditary. It just passed on through the genes, I think. Just the love for fishing and being on the water.
But in this ever-changing and increasingly challenging profession, more regulations, higher costs, fewer fish, the question of what will happen in the future is never too far in the back of their minds.
I kind of hope my son goes to college and gets a college degree because they could close all this fishing someday, you know, and he has to be able to lean back on something else. Right. But, you know, if that's what he wants to do, I'm not going to stop him.
I plan to take it over, but, you know, it's really up to him. He's the one with the permits and all that. But hopefully I can and pass it on to my kids.
Lobster, tuna, sea bass, swordfish, marlin, crab. If it's in the ocean, it's ended up in Lauro's boat. At one point, good fishing led to the restaurant business. In the early 70s, Lauro and his brother-in-law started world famous in Pacific Beach.
And it was jammed the whole time. On a Saturday and Sunday, we'd do 300-400 breakfasts just on Saturdays and Sundays, you know. Hey, Bill, what's going on?
While no longer in the family, it remains a PB institution. But there is no albacore, no thresher shark, no barracuda that compares to the greatest catch Lauro ever made, back when he was a teenager.
Right now it's between flowers, so
It's not looking its best.
Tony Gilardi's family moved to PB from Detroit in 1950. In the summer of '52, she was 15.
And I was at a home not far from here, outside playing with other young people, and he came up selling abalone. And he was in some sort of, were you in your red car, honey?
My 44 convertible.
And all I remember seeing is some really dark-skinned, dark-haired, slender guy. And after that, I never thought about it, never, you know, it just wasn't on my radar, so to speak.
But she was on his. The pursuit and courtship finally led to a wedding in 1960. By that point, Lauro was also married to the sea, which was just fine by Tony.
For me, it wasn't about him being a fisherman and should I marry a fisherman. It was, for me, about being in love, and he happened to be a fisherman. So I didn't hesitate thinking, marry a fisherman? Maybe not. No, that was never a question for me. Once I fell in love with him, that was it. I didn't care to meet anyone else. Followed my heart. That's it.
It wasn't long before kids were keeping them busy. Elizabeth, Andy, and Alexandra. When they weren't running around having fun on land, they would go out to the ocean with Dad on week-long trips in the summertime, sword fishing.
Going out to San Clemente Island on the big boat and getting up early, you know, going down to the bunks and sleeping, waking up, you're there. You know, not even thinking about it, because now I'd think, God, I'd be scared going all that way in the dark.
Liz is the oldest of the three. She and her husband, Steve, who met in high school just like Lauro and Tony, own PB Certified Auto on Cass Street, a neighborhood gathering spot where they really do know everyone's name.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, so, you know, all his kids turned out really good, and I grabbed one of them early on.
Smart man.
Yeah, you know, I'd say lucky.
Liz has clear memories of just what it was like when Dad would come home after a long business trip.
We would go to the top of the hill, and you could see down Daw Street where he'd keep his boat, and you could see the boat like coming around the corner, and, you know, we'd run home, get in the car, go down to the dock, see what Dad caught. You know, that was everything.
Watch out, he's gonna bite.
He loves fishing. He just loves it. He just loves being out here. He loves catching a fish as if it was, you know, his first fish. I think he still feels that feeling. What he has and how he feels just comes out, and you're drawn into that. Maybe I want a piece of that. He's lucky. We're all lucky. He's always there for all of us. He's my dad. What else can you say? You know, best dad ever.
You know, being a fisherman has definitely kept him young and strong, and the kind of work that he does would wear out a man, you know, half his age. He's taught me so much that it's just a gift to be around the man.
Steve did some fishing in his day, but he'll be the first to tell you he did not have the passion and love for it his father-in-law did, and still does.
It's just like his joy every time he sees a fish. It's just like contagious. Color, big fish, 4-banger, 5-banger, you know. It's something that you don't see in your everyday average guy that's going to work, you know what I mean? So I think that's kind of what makes it special when your office is the Pacific Ocean and, you know, your lighting's the sun.
So remember this.
I have a lot of fish stories, lots.
There's the one about George Moscone, the former mayor of San Francisco, who was visiting friends of Lauro's in San Diego over a weekend in 1978. Lauro introduced Moscone, who was quiet about his day job, to abalone diving.
I showed him down into the water. It was like cobblestones. There was so many abalone. And then we went over and pulled traps, and we got all the lobsters you could possibly eat. I caught about 30 to 50 pounds of lobsters, and he said, I'd like to buy these from you. And I said, no, just take them. Don't worry about it. I'll catch more. I'm going to be here for a long time. So anyway, he says, I want to tell you who I am. And I says, oh, that would be nice. He says, I'm Moscone. I'm the mayor of San Francisco. Let them know you're coming, and I'll I'll open the doors to San Francisco for you.
The very next day was November 27, 1978. Moscone, along with city supervisor and gay activist Harvey Milk, was shot and killed at City Hall by former supervisor Dan White.
It was really something that I had been with him for 2 days, showed him how to get abalone and lobsters, and here he was shot the next morning, on Monday morning, going to work.
Then there's the one when he was harpoon sword fishing years ago in Orange County with Bruce Brown, legendary documentary filmmaker best known for The Endless Summer. Lauro landed a big one, but the line got caught in the propeller. The young crewman named Mike, pretty hungover that day, stripped down naked and jumped in to try and jar it loose.
And he jumps up and he says, I can't do it. I'm so tired. I can't hold my breath long enough. So what did I do? I stripped all my clothes off, grabbed the mast, and I jumped over it, bare naked, not one thing on.
Dragged down by nothing, Lauro was able to get the rope free and get the fish on his boat, just as Bruce's was catching up.
And we're both standing on the boat, bare ass naked, no clothes on at all. And Bruce Brown comes up to us, and we have this 200-pound swordfish hanging in the air, and we're both standing next to it with no clothes on. And he's laughing, and he's saying, what in the hell is going on?
He could tell stories for days, unless there's fishing to be done, even if they're not really biting.
I was hoping that we were going to do a lot better than this today to show you what we can do, but it's slow, but guess what? God will be with you.
Liz was right. The day was young. Lauro knows when to fold them, but he also knows better than most that persistence and patience are central to the fishing game. And as is often the case, things that day started going Lauro's way.
Things are looking better. We definitely got dinner. There's a $30 bill.
That's a nice one.
Beginner's luck. It's a good day. What are you gonna do? You know, I caught $400 or $500 worth of lobsters. It's what time? 10 o'clock? So what do you think? It's okay. You know, I mean, we got out here and did what we had to do. That's right.
Every day's a fun day. You never know what's going to come up, and I can't wait to get to work.
Yeah.
Well, he teaches me a lot. He's a man to be respected, and geez, he knows the fishing game better than anybody. That's his ocean out there. Oh yeah, we go every place we go. Somebody knows. We go to Home Depot. People know. People come up, honk, and wave to me. I go, "Who's that?" He goes, "I don't know."
Celebrity, huh?
Oh, big time. Yeah. Everywhere we go.
The fruits of Lauro's labor are welcome at markets across San Diego, including El Pescador in La Jolla.
Yeah, he's mellow to do business with. He doesn't try and, a lot of guys will call him, like, what's the price? What are you paying for this? He's just like, whatever you want to give me. Like, so it makes it enjoyable. And it's like probably one of the last from that era that's still out there doing what he does and still strong and fun, good sense of humor. He's seen so much more than like regular any of us will see in a lifetime.
That's the end of a day's work. What are you gonna do, John?
He's old school. Like he's the real deal. He's just one of those people. Like if you can be like that guy someday, I want to be like that. That makes sense?
Yes, it does.
He's a good dude.
Lauro is often called old school, and it's the truth. An old cowboy of the sea still riding the range of the Pacific like so many have before him. And it is that dedication to and love for this job, a calling really, that has inspired others to carry on the legacy. Look no further than Andy and Charlie. Family, fishing, and fun. A simple recipe that has led to a lifetime of happiness. That is Lauro Seraspe.
I still do what I want to do. There's no one that tells me what to do. You know, if I want to get up in the morning and go fishing, I go. If I don't go. depending how I feel. And I always feel like I want to go fishing. Did we pull that trap? It's so nice to be out there in the morning, especially when there's no one there and it's just flat, calm and nice, and you have no worries, no bothers, nothing. Long as the boat keeps running and you pull your traps, or you're using your fishing lines or your hand lines, and it's so nice to be out there and have no worries at all. It's solitude. It's just a pleasure to be there.
But Lauro has decided that after more than 60 years at sea, it's time to retire. After thinking about it for a while, he made up his mind on the way to dinner one Saturday night in September 2015.
We were driving down the highway to go eat, and I thought, you know, here I am 80 years old, and do I need to keep doing this? No. And my granddaughter was with us, and she knows how to use the telephone on the computer, and I says, go ahead, put my permit up for sale on Craigslist. And she says, you're kidding. I says, no, I don't need it anymore. I'm tired. I'm through with it.
Tell me, what was the reaction in the car?
They couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe it. But we all drank to it. That was the main thing. When we got to our Italian restaurant downtown, we all had a drink on it.
The lobster permit Lauro bought about 50 years ago for about $50 is now worth around $130,000. The buyer will also get 100 traps built by Lauro himself.
Some of them are brand new, never been wet, and some of them are a year old.
For those who know him, it's almost hard to believe Lauro is ready to move on. John Cook is with the captain every day.
That's okay, John. We got it made. Here.
Getting up close and personal with just about every lobster.
Pretty sure it got me at the end. You can't even feel it, but it bleeds.
He was certainly surprised when he heard the news.
You gonna miss it, man?
Oh yeah, this is fun. Heck yeah, I'm gonna miss it.
And probably even on days like this, when the surf is high and the lobsters are hard to find.
I'm telling you one thing, we aren't going tomorrow after today's catch. If it's not one thing, it's another. But that's okay. There's just not much of a crawl. Not much of a crawl at all.
How do you feel?
I'm feeling tired. How about you? Not bad at all.
He has spent his whole life here, at the marina, on the boat, out on the water. But Lauro is leaving this world.
It feels real, real good. Nothing like it.
And everything that comes with it.
Either a lobster got me or the trap got me. That usually happens.
Every time, right?
Almost every day.
With no regrets.
It's the right time, and it's very easy to walk away. I know one thing for sure is that I don't have to be doing this anymore. Let the younger guys do it. I've had my run at it. I've had fun at it. I've had a good life at it. I've raised 3 children with it. I got my own home, my own car, my own truck. Everything is solid now.
He'll never stop fishing entirely. He'll hang on to the boat, maybe fish some crabs or tuna, or head out with his son Andy from time to time. But Lauro has built a legacy and a life that will never be forgotten.
I'm very proud of what I've done. I think I did a good job, caught a lot of lobsters, fed a lot of people, you know, made a few dollars. You don't get rich at it, but I did what I wanted to do, and I was my own boss the whole time. I say that's it for now. We're done, right, John?
Now we're done. Done for the day. Oh, we gotta go get rid of them.
We'll see you later, much, much later.